Hey guys, how you all going? It's Wednesday evening and I'm here to share with you another incredible guest speaker on my Wellness Wednesday initiative. So it's Makeup by Leanne, Holistic Health and Beauty. And tonight I'm so super excited to have Laura Napier on with me to share a little bit more about her gift, which is hypnotherapy. So I'm just going to bring her onto the camera now. There we go. And we can get. There we go, Laura. I think we will be adding you any sec. Hey, Laura.
Hello, Leanne. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining me on tonight on this live call. I'm so super excited to have you here, just so that you can pour into us and share a little bit more about what you do as a hypnotherapist. Before we get started, I just wanted to share a little bit more about why I wanted Laura to come on here tonight and talk to everyone. So I actually have actually reached out to Laura I think it was about 4 months ago. Just time flies. Because I actually had issues overcoming my own personal trauma, um, and that was related to a car accident that I actually had a couple of years ago with me and my kids. And it was just something that I thought that I dealt with. And to be honest, every time I would drive on that same freeway, and every time I would pass it, or I would think about the actual incident, I would just not cope very well. And these emotions would come up inside of me. I would feel very unsettled. And I just thought to myself, what are the chances if I could reach out to someone like Laura who could maybe use her hypnosis or her techniques to actually help me clear that? So Laura actually is the co-founder, and she's not co-founder, she's the founder and CEO of Your New Life. That is her business. And the one thing that she says about what she does, and I love this, is she says, you have the answers and I am your guide. And I think the purpose of tonight is really to also just share with you what is hypnotherapy and how does it work, and what are the misperceptions out there about like hypnosis, because I think a lot of people think it's very like, you're going to go into a trance and the person's going to make you do weird and wonderful things. And I just want to hand it over now to Laura now, so that she can actually share with you, what is hypnotherapy, how does it work, who can she help, and yeah, I'm so excited to have you on. So there you go, Laura. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you, Leanne. That's a lovely introduction, and bless you for sharing your story about, how I was part of your journey. And I'm just so proud of you and the results that you've got from the back of it. You know, as I say, it's not about me, it's about you, and you're the one that makes all the changes. I'm just here to, guide you through that process. So you were, the perfect client.
Thank
Um,
you.
and really, that's all I ask from my clients is just to trust me, which you did right from the start, and just trust the process as well. Because, like you say, a lot of people have misconceptions about um, hypnosis, and people have seen the stuff on TV, and I totally get it. I felt the same when I first started looking into it, of so many questions about how does it really work. And then the more I learned about it, the more I just saw the value and how quickly people can get results by doing this kind of work. So let me tell you a little bit about my background and how I got into hypnotherapy, because yeah, it's quite an unusual route that I took to get into that. So obviously I'm from the UK originally. I've been in Australia now for coming up to 6 years, and I've always been in corporate my whole life, straight from school, straight into corporate, didn't know anything else. And a few years ago, we had like a family tragedy. And I think when those things happen, it makes you question, you know, what am I doing with my life? Where should I go? What's in it for me for the next 20, 40 years, however long I've got? And so that kind of set me off on a bit of a journey of self-discovery, and I needed to do my own healing as well. So, you know, I was looking for some solutions, and I discovered the world of, you know, NLP and then hypnotherapy. And, you know, I just saw how powerful and effective these techniques are. And then I just knew from that point onwards that this was my purpose in life. I am here to help people heal and just get the best out of their life, really, because so often we carry around all this baggage from the past and nobody ever teaches us how to let it go. So, you know, that's where people like me come in with these kind of alternative therapies that are actually very scientifically based. And, you know, there's tons of research and everything behind it now where they can actually prove how the techniques actually work. So, you know, people often say to me, so what is hypnotherapy? And the best way I can describe it is it's a way of accessing new resources that you already have within you. And you do that whilst you're in a state of relaxation. And that's really all it is finding some new answers for yourself. And it's much more powerful when the answers come from you. You know, sometimes when you want some advice about something and your friend might tell you, oh, you should do this or you should do that. And then, you know, you just go, oh, that's just rubbish. I'm not going to do it. Or, you know, you might take a little piece of that advice, but because it came from somebody else, you kind of don't value it so much. Right. And so where hypnotherapy is really powerful is that the answers come from you. They come from within you. It's not somebody like telling you what to do. So I think that's why it's really powerful. And the nice thing about hypnotherapy as well is what we call a brief therapy. So I never see clients for more than 6 sessions. You know, there's a lot of therapies out there where, you know, I've heard of people going to therapy for like 17 years. I'm like, oh my God, you know, how could you keep going to see somebody for 17 years and not get a result? So for me, it's all about outcomes and getting the change that you want. And so, and getting it very quickly as well. And I think that's what's great about hypnotherapy is, you know, we don't spend too much time lingering on what the story is from the past, because what happened in the past is exactly that, in the past. So often the best thing about that is now that it's over and we can move on now. So again, hypnotherapy is very like a future focused therapy about what's the outcome that we're looking for, what are the beliefs, what are the values, what are the behaviors that we need in order to achieve those outcomes. So I think that's a fair enough summary of what hypnotherapy is. Does that make sense?
Yep. So you don't actually, because when I had the sessions with you, I didn't really feel like I fell asleep. I think people think that you like put them to sleep or you put them in a trance. Can you maybe explain why that is just so wrong? I mean, I know you shared a really funny video with us the other day around this, and I wish we could actually, maybe we could post the video. That would be good. If at the end of this, put the video in the comments, because that would really just it was just really, so good. But maybe you want to just explain like, how do you get people to go under, you know, like into that subconscious state? And how can people feel safe that you're not going to take control of their mind?
Mm, mm. It's so funny that you say that, because I hear that all the time about kind of the myths surrounding hypnotherapy. Because, like I said, people have seen the TV shows where, the person on the stage clicks their fingers and the person looks like they're asleep, and then they do all these crazy things. And, I don't call that hypnotherapy, I call it hypno entertainment. It's just a bit
Good
of
one.
fun. Yeah. And of course, you can do those things, but only if the person is willing to participate.
Right.
So,
So if I wanted to rob a bank, like if you wanted me to rob a bank, you
mm,
can't make me if I don't want
of course not. No, no, no. So, yeah, any suggestions that I might make to you whilst you're in a relaxed state, your conscious mind still has the ability to reject those suggestions. So it will check in and it will say, is this in my belief system? Is this in my values? Does it feel like the right thing to do? And if the answer is no, then it's just like, well, you'll reject it just like you would normally. So
Yeah.
the only person that has control over your mind is you. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't get control over your mind. It might be quite good fun
Yeah, it could
if I
be.
could.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
So what I wanted to say was I always thought, that hypnotherapy could be useful for people who are struggling with like wanting to quit smoking or have anxiety. But can you maybe share, because you've had such a great success record in helping people not only with quitting smoking and anxiety, but other things as well. Can you just share with the audience like some of the things that you've helped people with, and maybe if you're able to share some case studies of some of your clients, obviously not mentioning names, that would be useful.
yeah, yeah, I'd love to. Because I think people automatically make the association with, oh, right, you can help people quit smoking, and you can, in one session, we can stop people from smoking. The key thing to anything to do with this process is the person has to really, really want to do
Right.
it. So I always ask people, whatever they come to see me for, I always ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you? How committed are you to making this change? And if it's not 9 or 10, then I say, well, then you're not really ready. So, I only really work with people when they're ready. And it's an absolute must for them that they have to make these change.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why I get good outcomes with people, because they're at that point where they're ready to let something go or ready to make changes. So
So just to interrupt you,
that's,
so it's actually you actually have to be at a point where you are saying, I need this change to happen,
yeah.
but I can't do it on my own. So let me reach
Mm,
out to someone like Laura who can use this technique to help me achieve that positive outcome. But it's
yeah.
about you
Yeah.
actually being at that point of 100% ready and
Hmm.
committed to
Hmm.
doing it right. Awesome.
Yeah, totally. Because, yeah, like I say, if people are only kind of halfway there, like, yeah, I think I should give up smoking, but I'm not really sure. I do really like smoking. Then, chances are we're not going to get a great result, because, it have to be at the point where this change has to happen,
Mm.
and then I know they're ready. So
Mm-hmm.
let me give you some examples. So obviously quit smoking, we've had a few people for that. In December last year, just before Christmas, actually, I was at a Christmas party and I got a phone call from a client, and I was like, oh, what's going on? Are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm absolutely fine, but my friend's in real trouble. Like, he's just lost his job. He's like totally depressed and he's talking about ending it. He's in a really bad way. And I was like, okay, let's get him on the phone. Let's talk to him and find out what's going on. And so he was in Western Australia, so we had to do things online, which works perfectly well. And so yeah, his background, came from a domestic violent background. Really, really sad sequence of events. He was only 21 years old, weighing 150 kilos. So, obviously his coping mechanism for all of this was just to eat. Um, you know, that was his way of comforting himself. And so, yeah, you know, I had 6 sessions with him, and I actually spoke to him last week just to check in, see how he's doing. And now he's got a new job. He's just started driving lessons because he couldn't drive before, and the weight is starting to come off now. So, you know, even after the first session, actually, I saw the change in him immediately, and I got him to keep a journal of, you know, how he was feeling that week, and the change happened like so quickly. It was, even I was amazed at how quickly he turned it around. So that was, you know, so lovely. I've had a few people for public speaking, actually. That seems to crop up quite a bit. You know, it's a lot of people get nervous about public speaking if they haven't done that before. And so again, we just like use the techniques to get rid of the fear surrounded public speaking, have a look at what's happened in their past that might be causing that fear, and then use the hypnosis to, you know, embed the new beliefs of, I'm an amazing public speaker, I am confident, you know, I've got lots of interesting things to say, people love me. And yeah, because you're making the changes at your belief system at an unconscious level, then it just happens straight away. You know, often you can try and talk yourself into these things consciously, but your conscious mind only controls 10% of everything that you do. Your unconscious mind controls 90%. So if you really want to make changes in your life, you have to do it at the unconscious level, and that's where the hypnotherapy comes in.
Right.
So yeah, public speaking's a big one. I went to New Zealand in November last year. There was actually a couple over there. So the man was suffering with depression and anxiety. And then I was talking to the wife as well, and she was like, actually, you know, I just feel like I've lost my way. You know, it's kind of described as lost her mojo. You could describe it that way, that she was just down. She'd had to go through a lot with her husband, and, you know, it just taken a toll on her as well. And she was really hiding away, you know, just trying to hide away from things. She'd always have her glasses on and, you know, just wanted to stay in the background. But I could tell that she had like this light inside of her, and I really wanted to, you know, spark that again. So, you know, we spent a whole afternoon together, and we just cleared out everything, that all the beliefs that she had that were holding her back. And, you know, shortly after that, she got a new job. She stopped wearing her glasses. She's now wearing contact lenses. I can see she's wearing makeup again. She's like kind of reinvented herself in this new job that she's got. And I see her posts on Facebook, and it's all like positivity and great and family stuff going on. And, you know, this is why I just feel like I've got the best job in the world, because helping people make these transformations and, you know, seeing the change in people is like the most rewarding thing I think you can ever do. So I feel very blessed
and
to
I'm
be
so
able to do that,
because I have access to you and all the other amazing professionals that I just have in my hub at the moment, and I just can't wait to just launch and do this and show, just help so many more millions of people through my new business. And, you know, what I'm bringing, it's definitely feels amazing when you're actually on purpose and you can help people this way. So phobias as well, that's something you can help people with, isn't that? Like, people are scared of I think, didn't you have a lady that was scared of getting on the bus, or she was petrified of crowds, or what? I don't remember the story, but phobias, I guess, is another thing.
It's a big one as well. I mean, you know, public speaking, you could say that that's a phobia. It's just a fear of you know, phobia is just an intense fear. But yeah, I did have a lady, and she would get like anxiety attacks of going on public transport. It could be on the ferry, it could be on the bus or train. but it got to the point where even the thought of getting on public transport, she would start to get that, you know, panicky feeling. So we had a few sessions together, and
so you could help
she's
someone
now,
who has, I'm sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, she's now working back in the city, and she's like on the buses during rush hour to and from every day, and she's like perfectly happy. It doesn't even enter her mind anymore. So yeah,
isn't that amazing?
it's so lovely.
Wow, that's incredible. What I love about the fact is that you've actually can share with people real life examples, and that you're checking in with people again just to make sure that it's working. I guess that's important. Yeah, I guess if you had a fear of flying, I guess that would be another thing. Like if you had, anything like that. I was just absolutely so grateful that, you know, I actually always thought it was something around, as I said, you know, maybe phobias or smoking, but I never thought you could also help people in trauma. So, you know, it's like I didn't really need to go and see a trauma counselor for my needs. But what I did need to do was just dissociate with the actual event. And, you know, even as I'm talking about it now, there's no emotion, you know, and I think that that's that is just like as if all those chains have just like been released and gone, which is unreal. So, Laura, you actually actively do these beautiful workshops where you bring a group of women together and you share the love around different techniques around massage and meditation and yoga, and I've actually just healthy mindset. I actually went to one of your retreats. I think it was about 6 to 8 weeks ago.
February.
February. Amazing. Now you've got one coming up on the 11th of May. Did you want to just share with everybody what that is about? And then when we finish off here, if you could pop in the comments just some more information about that, and also the link where people can book to attend that event.
I would love to. Thank you so much for letting me do that. So these workshops are really special for me because I think we're all busy women, and you know, I meet so many busy women in Sydney, and you know, what I felt was, personally, I often wanted to go on a retreat, but I just didn't have time to go away for like 2-3 days or whatever and have that, you know, indulgence. And plus it's quite expensive, so you know, the money and the time factor was always a bit too high. So I wanted to create a solution where, you know, it's some self-care that we can just pack into, you know, 3-4 hours, a half a day, just to take some time out for ourselves and, you know, fill our cup and restore our energy. And you know, so I work with another lady, Daniela. She's a massage therapist, and you know, we got together and said, okay, what can we pack it into 4 hours that would leave people feeling like refreshed and re-energized and just, you know, special. And so we did our first one in November. You came to the one in February. And we're going to do a mid-year one as well, just because we're getting to that halfway point of the year. We probably all made like New Year's resolutions that we wanted to make changes this year. So this is the opportunity to like check in, reset, think about the second half of the year, and, you know, do some yoga, some massage. If you want to try hypnotherapy, we'll be doing a little hypnotherapy session there as well for the group. So it's nice because you get a little taster of lots of different things. So then you can decide, oh, I'd want to do more yoga or more hypnotherapy or more massage. You know, you get to try a little bit of everything, and then, you know, decide from there if that was enough for you, or do you want to, you know, go a little bit deeper in any of those practices. So I'm really excited about the next one on the 11th of May. It's going to be in Neutral Bay. And we'll have lots of like yummy organic food there as well, so you'll be well taken care of if you come along.
Awesome. So I think you said that was from 10 to 3 on
10 till 3. That's right. So you can just fit it into your weekend and, you know, just carry on with the rest, but feel completely amazing by the end of it.
I don't know, and anybody who's watching this, honestly, I've been to one of Laura's workshops and you're going to walk away just feeling so energized and so revitalized and just so centered and calm and focused and rejuvenated all in one. And I even attended the yoga, which I'm not such a big fan on, but oh my God, Laura has a little daily ritual that she does and shared that with us. And wow, like actually she made yoga actually appealing, which was awesome.
That was a first for you.
The first for me. But what we've had a lot of people watching live tonight, and I'm sure there are going to be many people watching back. So anybody that is, if you have questions,
please send me questions.
Pop them in. Yeah, you can either contact Laura directly or just put them in the comments, and Laura can actually respond to you, because I think, as I said in the beginning, hypnotherapy is misunderstood, and I was actually really grateful to meet someone who, you're not all woo woo. It's not weird. You actually are a normal person, and I can have a cup of tea with you and not be hypnotized, which is good. But thank you so much, Laura, for taking your precious time and coming on here tonight. This is not the last time we're going to hear from you. We will get you back on here, and we will
yes, please.
And we will be able to share so much more. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching live.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. So just remember to pop the comments in the bottom, Laura, of your workshop and how people can contact
you. And the video, the funny video.
The funny video. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, sweetheart. See ya.
Bye. Bye, everyone.